Some things are just not meant to be said, homie. Now let me stop talking. Take it back up to NYC. My story, you heard? Real talk though. Fascinating. Huh? Space age shit. Yeah. Yeah, I got 6 brothers, 2 sisters, and 1 mama. Pop wasn't there, so we never felt that drama. Used to break night, slinging them things with no care. I was tired of mom struggling and beefing with the welfare. Wanted big things, that meant big bounties. Criminal kids connect in Queens County. Used to use muscle, street hustling for dough. From robbing kids to Crips, to slinging the yo. Hey yo, somebody got the pay though. When it got hot, we didn't wait, we still ate. Pushing weight in other states, doubling cake and shaking Jake. I watch these older cats stay on the low and let it rise. I followed their lead till I became one of them wise guys. Them dudes with them snake eyes, I never trust them. One wrong move, I be the first one to touch them. Try and interfere, get in my way, act brave. My story, what it is. Rikers Allen got me taking steps. Buck 50 to my right and left. That ice pick got them chasing death. They want us gone, all gone till there's no one left. Murder was the case, overdope and freebase. Face to face, I seen the Grim Reaper.
Remember you telling me that you was in a drug game. Tell me about that.
Oof. A lot I'll say and a lot I won't. But I was in the game for real. People who know me across the country. That's what was amazed me, because I came from such a great prolific songwriter and great heritage from the presidency, and none of them really reached out to see if I was good, to make sure I don't go in that direction. But I ended up in that direction. In New York at 17, I had like 30 cats working for me in the neighborhood I was in. I ended up in a situation to where we as a family, and you know, we was all dedicated for years and years to get to that bag together. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the South Side. I'm at the end of the South Side, Lawton, but I ran through the South Side. I'm from Brooklyn as well, but I got money in a lot of places, man. In the Carolinas, different places, man. We went to it and got to it, and a lot of people know me for that. As well as the little dress swag, people know me for that. I brought a lot of swag to a bunch of cities and whatever. Got knowledge of self, so I gave a lot of brothers across the country knowledge of self to know who they was, to be able to pursue what they would pursue with more insight as to what's going on around them. So I really suggest that all of young brothers today strive to get knowledge of self, grab a hold of who you are and where we came from. It'll give you better insight what we need to be doing to go further as a people, opposed to a couple of dollars in the hood and you got some shit. That don't mean nothing. It's what we could do together to make our whole thing move. Everybody, I love my baby, I love my kid, I love my family. Well, how do we unify all this gang shit and all this crazy shit to take it to another level where we got them protected? But in the game, homie, I ran around big boys, so a lot of cats know me from that level. I was able to get out of it after all of the running and get out the way, but I ran around cats, you know, that Tommy Mickens, Preem Team, Corley, cats from my hood that was really doing things. You know, I came from that level in the game, where I watched the game go from before there was crack, we was hustling. There was no such thing as crack, it was free base. Black people didn't even have access to it like that. All the way to the crack around the 85, 86, the crack started taking over. Black people got more involved, it got cheaper, became all accessible, and everybody and their mama started selling crack. A lot of people got rich and a lot of people got broke down, dead, jail. Mamas is smoking crack, doing favors for kids. It was out of line. And I watched it go from that, where at least the cats that was hustling and doing what they was doing, they was more loyal to each other, honest. If they was going out together. All the way to evolve to playing tag, snitching on each other, all kind of shit that was just like the loyalty in the game is gone. It went from cruising, all of us unifying to get the money together, to everybody's solo, so everybody's killing each other, all the way to gangs, to where the money's not even important right now. It's how many of each other we can kill gives you rank. So the game from then to now has dissolved. It is actually a game now where you can fucking get out at any moment because there's no loyalty in it. So, you know, I want to go from there to nothing. That's a fact. There's all kind of crazy shit. So
every day I'm every day.
My daddy did this beat for me.
Said every day I'm serving blessed. Every day I'm serving plates. Pray to God that I make it safe. UPS or the interstate. Gotta make sure my people eating steak. Yeah. So every day I'm serving plates. Serving plates. Every day I'm serving plates. Pray to God that I make a way. UPS or the interstate. Gotta make sure my people eating steak. Yeah. So every day I'm serving plates. Serving plates.
No nickels, no dimes on my triple beam. This dope for crippled fiends. I'm representing Queens by any means. Before the crack, before the pills, before the ecstasy. The streets had the best of me, already had the recipe. I made it hard for them clowns to get next to me.
So, Carolina, boy, got me into the music. What's one of the big companies try to help you get your music? Boy, they were big company folks, man. Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, whatever y'all call him today. He was the first person to ever shot me and try to get a deal. I probably was his first project to ever shot. Then I rocked with Jazzy J, Fat Body and Jazzy J. Those are the two who really put me in the light of the industry, ran me up at A&M, moved me around. They took interest. That's when I took Mark Sparks and Fanatics compilation they put together. I appeared on it as well. Jazzy J, and their whole career started off from that, going into the new music seminar. Then with Fucking Fine and all of them. I brought that into existence, but you might not hear about that. There's a lot of stuff you won't hear about me in the industry, because I was the backbone on the other side of shit. It is what it is. They call me the gangster, the Tupac of the industry, and the Tupac of payroll records, or whatever you want to call it. That's who I was. But I was getting money down here, that's a fact. And then shit changed. Let's walk up here, see. When shit changed, though, it got crazy out here for me in the Carolinas. It got hot. Everybody was after me, the police, all that. I had to get out the way, son. That's a fact. I went back up top to New York and rocked with Mark Sparks. And we did the Salt and Pepper shoot. We brought Anthony Hamilton to New York, got him a deal over at Uptown. We just started working, man. It got crazy. New York got crazy too, because my father, he was a gangster. He's an American gangster. He robbed a bunch of banks. He came home. He was home for a while. He ended up robbing 8 more banks. They called me while I was in the city, told me to lay low, they looking for me. They got my pops. I ended up taking it to Cali from there. Thank you to Harry Stanback and Sarah Stanback and James Worthy and Steve McHenderson from Motown to help me get up out of here, go try something different somewhere else. They know I was on the run though. That's how I went.
Why was you on the run?
I ended up on the run because in North Carolina I got caught with some work. Charlotte, I got caught in Baltimore in a conspiracy. It was crazy. I spent over $400,000 moving around to try to get around that. I ended up in New York for a while trying to duck it. Bondsman started looking for me. I shot the Cali. Really some drug shit. That was it. I never got caught where it was me. I always got caught up in somebody else's mess, but I couldn't stand up to that. I had to get out the way. It's a fact. Real talk. That's what put me on the run. I ain't want to do the time. Then somebody facing 20 years, 5 on that. And at the time, they was treating brothers bad in them jails. So I was like, I'm not going to be another victim. Because those cases wasn't even mine from the gate. Those cases was missing. So I said, you know what? I'm not doing that. And I got in the win. It's bad because I lost relationship with my kids. I could have built a lot of stuff. It got crazy for me because when I went over there, they abandoned me. I was on the other side with no love from this side. So I just lived through it. 15, 20 years till I got past the statutes and all that. Came back through it. That's a fact. Back in the cat, making it work. KO the King with me.
Summer, let's say
I just need to get in my cap. So
Yeah. It ain't what you heard, it's what you ain't heard you gotta worry about. That's a fact. Let's cruise with this one, son. KO, get in. Come on. I'm like skirt, zoom, zoom. I pull up in that big ass Hummer, they better make room. 20-inch whippers inside, so watch the ride boom. Highway, top of the summer, let's say it's late June. Skirt, zoom, zoom. I pull up in that big ass Hummer, they better make room. 20-inch whippers inside, so watch the ride boom. Highway, top of the summer, let's say it's late June. I'm out in Cali, living in the valley, I'm studio bound. I found a sound of Time Warner. 740 out, big house, jacuzzi and a sauna. I'm making big records, Snoop, Tupac, and George Clinton. Could've been in folk right, cause Allen I on San Quentin. They said I live in Hollywood, homie, and yeah, they knowin' my name. Getting checks and respect, but still I'm ducking the fame. Salute the big U, big close to T. Rogers, representing them Lakers, Clippers, Raiders, and Dodgers. But man still say but gangsters, yeah, even if insane. Rolling 60 Crips, bounty hunters, and Denver Lane. Trucker Hoovers, Fisher family, and Swans. And them Compton Crips, and all them San Bernardino trips. And the main streets, they organize and they holding heat. Mostly in the summertime, cruising down the street. Crenshaw on Sundays, where all the sets meet. I'm like skirt, zoom, zoom. I pull up in that big ass Hummer, they better make room. 20-inch whippers inside, so watch the ride boom. Highway, top of the summer, let's say it's late June. Skirt, zoom, zoom. I pull up in that big ass Hummer, they better make room. 20-inch whippers inside, so watch the ride boom. Highway, top of the summer, let's say it's late June. They ain't playing, not trying out in the dirty south. The Mac callers, them set callers, they coming out. CDs and vice lords, MS-13. Anybody banging a set, cruising on the scene. See them sets come together late night, you been invited. Cause the music keeps us together, keeps us united. Get excited cause them one time, really the ops. Some call them 5-0, some call them dirty ass cops. Or call them peace officer, but the drama never stops. So we stay on point and we always in tune. When we see them coming, we be like skirt, zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm like skirt, zoom, zoom. I pull up in the big ass Hummer, they better make room. 20-inch whippers inside, so watch the ride boom. Highway, top of the summer, let's say it's late June. Skirt, zoom, zoom. I pull up in that big ass Hummer, they better make room. 20-inch whippers inside, so watch the ride boom. Highway, top of the summer, let's say it's late June.
So tell me the situation about you knowing Tupac and Biggie Smalls.
Those two different situations, two different worlds, but I call it the West Coast connection. But I know Biggie, man. I was around when he shot his first video downtown. I ain't really get acquainted with him like that. I got a little cool with him, but here and there we spoke. But I had a situation with this film company called Alpine Films. I did a movie called Underground. And I was a co-star, and they hired me to try to get Biggie and Pop and Rakim at the time and Snoop to participate in the Western, which they was hoping that would bring the East and West Coast back together by them riding in the movie together. And Biggie was supposed to shoot this, come to sit down with me. We had $250,000 for him for a 2-day shoot. And the night of the Soul Train Awards, we all went to the awards. After the awards, I went home. Me and Melquan, Biggie and them went to some parties and shit. I told him I wasn't doing it, I was going to the crib. It didn't take but a couple hours later for Melquan, a little kid was on Melquan phone screaming that they killed Biggie. We watched all the dudes, it was a fact. I watched that whole multi-million-dollar deal go down the drain. I was supposed to be the supervisor with Rakim on the soundtrack. Biggie, Snoop, it was about to be crazy. That went to nothing. Pac situation is a whole another situation, but it wasn't music more than me and him was kicking it quite a few times. But the last time I kicked it with him was really touching because we was in front of Roscoe's over on Sunset and Gower in Hollywood talking about he was about to be out of the whole situation and do his own thing. And he was sitting out there, I was sitting out there, it was raining, we was talking about it. Then we dispersed, and like the next night, Suge hit me up. At the time I was producing Danny Boy. Suge hit me up like, yo, y'all want to go to the fight with us? I didn't want to go because, you know, I'm from the East Coast, Jimmy Henchman and my people, so I didn't want to play the middle or none of that. So I stayed back. I told Siggy to stay back too. That was Jackie Jackson's son who used to be with me everywhere. And sure enough, that night, they left. By the morning, we got hit when Pac got murdered. I felt that in my heart that was going to happen. It's crazy. But that was a bad situation with Pac that went on. And plus with the situation, I told you, me and Suge, we was doing a lot of business. He was trying to get negative about Pac about some things that should have been kept sacred. So, you know, when it come to Pac, man, I really feel Pac, he's really trying to make an impact and change the thoughts and minds of the Bravehearts in the street. There's a difference when you're trying to get the Bravehearts to come together and make a move where we do make a difference than just being a bunch of bullies running around disrespectfully. You know, that's where I'm at with that. Real talk. Jimmy's I rock with a lot of them, but Jimmy Henchman, that was my boy, he's a good dude. When it came to this music business, his personal antics was never my business. When it came to this music business, homie was the truth. I watched that man do a lot of great things for a lot of artists, and a lot of artists could vouch for that. He was definitely needed in the business because he held people down and he made a difference for the artists. But you know, when I got with Jimmy, that was me, Mark Sparks, Laquan, it was the Cackalack God Squad crew. Jimmy got behind it. He pushed the line and got the Salt and Pepper record to become the first single, which was Shoot. That stayed #1 for 6 months. It went crazy. We started rocking with every artist in the industry. It was the D&D and the Lean Brothers Studios for like 2 years straight, rocking with everybody you name at that time. Dana Dane, Kim, Lost Boys, Father MC, you name them at that time, we rocked with them. It was in D&D, me, Nas, Mobb Deep, Premier, Guru, Fat Joe, all of us was in there smoking and sharing food, struggling, trying to get to it. And each one of us at a certain point prevailed. So I say D&D was magic. Even the Lean Brothers, because when we was there, Broadway, 1600 Broadway, 7th floor, the guards know about that because that's where they did Protect Your Neck. And the whole Wu-Tang thing launched from. So I just happened to be blessed to be in a lot of situations where great things would happen in my presence, or I participated in making it happen. That was, you know, something that made me feel like it's in the DNA after I realized who I was in the industry as far as my family and genetics.
Speaking of your DNA, I know you got a lot of royalty in your bloodline. So what makes you so royal?
I feel like I put the work in the streets though on the royal side. I've been through a lot of shit from back from the 80s to right now. Cats know me. I ain't on no paperwork ever. Feel me? Miss me with that. I've been through a lot though. A lot of shit. I've been tied up in a lot of different jails. Been a lot of gangsters, the real ones across the country. And we salute each other. Real recognized real across the country. From Chicago to LA to New York. I know them, they know me. We salute. It's all love. But at the end of the day, I always, since a youth, my mama was, God bless the dead, if she was here, would tell you, I always felt like we supposed to have more already, like I already put this work in. But you know, history repeats itself, time repeats itself, you gotta repeat the work too. So I'm feeling like I'm putting that work in all over again to regain the throne. But I always felt like royalty from day one, and it come from both sides. My mom's is from England, you know what I'm saying? She's a Carrington, from the Carrington family, direct descendants to the royal family in England. Her father was Spencer Williams, one of the most prolific songwriters in history. My father, you know what I'm saying, he's the great-great-grandson of President Andrew Johnson. So I come from that. Ranks, children, the King Henry, King John. The royalty shit is in the blood, but I realize you gotta put that work in. I don't care how powerful you think you are inside, it will never prevail till you put the work in.
Take a back to 9-3 when shit first back to
everybody right now, like,
I mean,
once you
get
know
out
who
the
you
way,
are,
you heard. Still getting to it though. Out the way, but still right there. You heard? It's crazy.
Daddy did this beat, fool.
Summertime, 9 straight, Mary J, you remind me. Feds stay behind me, always trying to time me. I'm moving too quick, they couldn't find me. Gangsta acting kindly, all the cash and all the diamonds used to blind me. I got my gun again, back on the run again, no more fun again. A fugitive, 7 years on the prowl. Now, change the frowns from all the smiles. All the girls, they would love me, always thinking of me. Get mad cause I wouldn't be still, I wouldn't chill. From New York to them California hills, chasing the mill. I got one life, one shot.
You know, I think this country still is run on gangs. Republicans, Democrats, the police department, the FBI, the CIA, those are gangs. You know what I mean? The correctional officers. I had a correctional officer tell me straight up, we the biggest gang in New York State. Straight up, you know what I mean? So this whole country is built on gangs. We just have to not be so self-destructive about it. Organize.
Way on the other side, feeling all the bad lane shit. It's crazy, son. Real though.
They be mad I'm still flourishing. They in a way but not discouraging. Got older, got better, got wiser, got clever. More importantly, I finally got my shit together. Baby mamas claim they love me, rather see me in jail. Locked up with no bail. They used to watch me win, but now they rather see me fail. Ever ran with a fear of not being free, of me not being me, incarcerated into modern day slavery. Some say it's bravery. On the other side, thinking I'm expanding. Who would've thought? Where's the love? I felt abandoned.
Was around till things got hot, now they not. Must have been the money cause they acted funny. Realized what it was, I am not a dummy. Took a couple years, I was on the go. Took my kindness for weakness, so here we go. At one point we was family. Never thought that y'all would abandon me.
Yeah, man, it was crazy out here, man. Way out in LA. From New York, son. It's crazy. Heard? I was in the CAC for a long time. I had a lot of love. Everybody was fucking with me. All of a sudden, it was all over. I had to get missing, dog. It was crazy. Nobody reached out, God. It's been a minute. Nobody reached out. That's a fact.
Yeah. I was dipping from them cases of yayo. 12 years on the lay low. Still making them pay though. I'm still kicking like.
We talk about my grandfather, Andrew Johnson, 17th President of the United States. I chose this for a specific reason to talk about it, right? Because if you're familiar with these four cats in Greensboro and A&T College, across the street from here was a restaurant. They was the first ones to boycott. They wasn't going for it. Black people gonna make a stand. This is my time. Generation X, where we said we ain't doing none of that. Whatever you're talking about, we not doing it. And guess what? It worked out. Because now, a lot of the rights y'all got today came from that stand they took. They took that stand to be able to make black people feel confident, and wherever they go, they will be honored. Although today we still got racism, that stand they took opened a lot of doors. We're going to my grandfather at this point because those doors was open based on his movement. There was a lot of contradictions, man. So, you know, we're going to talk about Andrew Johnson, the 17th president. That's my third great grandfather. And his contribution to America and a lot of deception and the conflict that came into that contribution. First of all, he was a Democrat. Lincoln was a Republican. He was considered poor white trash as a child. They called from poverty to president. He grew up with the mulatto kids, the slaves, and the Indian kids. But they always said he was a racist and all of this, which was a contradiction to his upbringing. He couldn't even read and write till he was about 14, 15 years old. He met a lady named Eliza McCradle that ended up being his wife, one of my grandmas. And she taught him how to read and write. There was a college that wasn't far by. Taught him how to debate and let him in the colleges to debate, so his wordplay was crazy. He ended up being the alderman, the mayor, the senator, the governor, general of the military, vice president of the United States, president of the United States, and U.S. legislator. No other president held that many titles to today, but they still downplay him and say he was impeached. Let's go into impeachment right quick. When Lincoln died, they put into office the Office Act. They put the Office Act into play right after Lincoln died, like a setup. They'll put the Office Act in. So what happened was my grandfather fired General Stanton at the time because he felt like it was infiltrating the cabinet. Remember, Lincoln was a Republican. My grandfather was a Democrat. So now that when Lincoln died, the Democrats had the cabinet. Stanton kept running around telling all the BS, so he fired him. And based on the Office Act they created after Lincoln died, making it hard for him to fire snakes, they took him into trial for impeachment. But he was acquitted and went back and finished his office. But guess what? All they do is highlight the impeachment. They don't talk about how foul it was to put that together. It's the whole Republican-Democrat battle thing where Lincoln got the glory, my grandfather was quiet. Just like, who freed the slaves? Every time you ask that question, KO, who freed the slaves?
Your grandfather.
But who would you think if I didn't tell you?
Abraham Lincoln.
Facts. Right. My grandfather freed the slaves in September 1868. The slaves wasn't free prior to that. Lincoln died in 65. Y'all get your history in order. In 1868, September, Tennessee was the first state to let the slaves free. Lincoln was gone already, but they gave the glory to Lincoln. Salute you, Lincoln. You had a great economic plan for the people, and you was really getting ready to try to put a situation where blacks could be free, but still had to work their ass off. But at the same time, my grandfather was like a slave as a child. He knew what it felt like not to read, write, the depriving, all that. When Frederick Douglass came to him and said, yo, let's let the blacks vote, guess what he said? No. And I agree. Guess why he said that? Because he felt like black people should not be able to vote until they were educated. That was the smartest thing he could do. If you ask who built the first black school in the South, it was Andrew Johnson, by the way of one of his slaves. He gave them the land and all the things they needed to build that school. But you don't hear about that either. But he knew they needed to be educated. He said in 100 years they'll be able to vote. And like Kennedy said, 40 years from that, we had a black president. So those were the door openers to that. Anything my grandfather's book, I'm putting it together. It's called Andrew Johnson from Poverty to President, Closer to the Truth. Because America is not, they're trying to clean it up, but I'm helping clean it up a little faster. Just so y'all know some of the real facts on America. And the Confederacy. Yeah, Confederacy. Let me just say this to y'all too. My grandfather wrote the Homestead Act, which saved and preserved everybody's land and property, even the Confederacy after they went against the Union. Saved everybody's property. It ain't but a few of us left. Why don't we have our property? How come America got control of our property? that's one of the questions at hand. How do y'all got the property? Y'all never gave it back to us, never tried to offer us anything. You know I exist, it's been verified who I am, and you still haven't offered me anything. But my grandfather wrote the laws that protected everyone's property. That's in question. We're gonna talk about that. Hopefully the people will join me to see where if they fix that. But I felt like I needed to discuss that and let y'all know, yep, I'm mixed, half white, half black. I come from 3 kings, King Arthur, King John, King Henry, Queen Isabella, and a princess, and a president. So in my DNA, I'm gonna keep trying to make real things happen. That's a fact. But you know, I just feel like that's a piece of me that had to be discussed. So the people who's confused, because as a kid I didn't know who I was. As a grown man, I know who I am. I know my objectives and goals. Hopefully I can get the people behind me to help me put a lot of America's bullshit in perspective and make it more of a clean and more straight line America. That's with that regards to that, my father's side. That's my grandmother's great-great-grandfather or great-grandfather. My mother's Spencer Williams' daughter. We're gonna get into that next. February 1, David Richmond, Franklin McCain, Isabel Blair Jr., Joseph McNeil. These 4 A&T freshmen envisioned and carried out the lunch counter sit-in on February 1st, 1960 in downtown Greensboro. Their courageous acts against social injustice inspired similar protests across the nation. Remember that.
Always gotta keep it cool. Players to be a fool for now. Always be safe. You gotta take time with me. And I'm always keeping 2. I burn a nigga, hit a fool for none. Gotta play safe, you gotta take time
in the day, so be strategic. Every move you choose to make, you gotta mean it. It could be right in your face, but never seen it. I could be all that you want, just like you dreamed it. Stay safe, move at the right pace. One wrong move that fast, you could catch a case. Right time, wrong place. Ain't no finish line, so tell me why you're in a race. And you know I stay strapped up. One false move, I get your whole team backed up. Act up, get trapped up. Better off living your life, loving your prime, getting your shine. Stay in your lane, I'ma stay in mine. Cause winning is a state of mind. I move swiftly, we can win together as long as you move with me. Take time with me.
Take time with me. Hey, always gotta keep it cool. Play it safe or be a fool for none. Always be safe, you gotta take time with me. And I'm always keeping 2. And I'ma keep it 2, yeah. Burn a nigga, hit a fool for none. Gotta play it safe, you gotta take time with me. I don't need him on her. I spit viral like a case of corona. I'ma keep it cool cause the nigga always laid back. I keep dropping hits cause the haters gon' hate that. You can't take time or else I'ma lose it. You can't take mine, your face I'ma bruise it. I came from a town where you had to get your face back. And if you got your ass whooped, you had to just face that. Oh, you can't push me. Why would you rush me? How could you push me? Take time, no rushing. How would you push me? Why would you rush me? How could you push me? Take time, no.
So, Sha, tell me more about your grandfather and you know, the Spencer Williams situation.
It's crazy, man. I mean, when we was young, my mom always used to show us our grandfather was real famous. I just never knew to what capacity. One day, though, crazy in New York, me and Anthony Hamilton, I'm bringing him to a meeting to meet with Kirk Woodley, Kevin Woodley, over at Atlantic Records. And when we sat down waiting to take the meeting, the Village Voice was sitting in front of me with a big picture of my grandfather and 3 pages full of shit he did. That's when I realized how big he was. He's the one who took Josephine Baker to Paris, the first American, period, to take a talent to another country. He did the first Broadway musical, Put and Take, with Fats Waller and Louis Armstrong. Those was his artists, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, Fats Waller, Bessie Smith, Josephine Baker. He did a lot, man. The king in England anointed him and made him a diplomat for America to bring the talent from America to the foreign country. So when we got off the Chitlin circuit, my grandfather's one who opened the doors for them to get out the Chitlin circuits and go overseas and get money. Opened the whole CSAC, all that became relevant from him taking talent from here overseas. He was the first black writer out of 7 to be signed to ASCAP. She'll be coming around the mountain, Basin Street Blues. I ain't got nobody. I found a new baby. Everybody loves my baby. Careless Love, Royal Garden Blues. My grandfather had over 200 hits. We got music in over 400 or 500 movies right now.
It's crazy how they did not, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge your grandfather, acknowledge you after everything, you know.
But it's like every industry, just like my other grandfather with the Andrew Johnson situation. A lot of money involved, power involved. My grandfather's a black man who achieved goals that they never thought a black man could do in America. So when he passed away, he had the 2 mulatto daughters and a white wife. Who she eventually, my grandma went back to Europe. She wasn't rocking with this American prejudice, racist stuff. So she left me, my mama and my auntie out here to fend for themselves with all this bread and all this catalog. So you had big lawyers, William Kowalski, and a bunch of people. That's just to name one that I really feel away by how he carried our business. That took advantage of the family, sued on our behalf, never gave us knowledge of the suits. A lot of songs got transferred from one company to another without giving us any knowledge. A lot of contracts got signed to my mom and my aunt without even giving them any knowledge what those contracts were. So it's been a battle. Even Paul McCartney right now got a big catalog of ours, big conflict over that. And you know, he's fighting with Sony about his catalogs while we're fighting with him about ours. So that's crazy in itself. But hopefully he'll come to the table one day and sit down and make it right.
No one to talk with.
Basin Street is a street where the folks they all meet. Down in New Orleans, the land of dreams, by their husbands, the home of yes.
I hear that you was once about to do some business with Janet Jackson.
That's a fact. Me and Janet she was about to let me run her whole company, bro. JDJ Entertainment. I was supposed to be the lead producer and then do that Velvet Carpet, whatever, Blue Carpet, whatever that album was. We were supposed to do that together. It was a great deal put on the table between Donald Passman and my lawyer Deborah Johnson. It ended up not working out because she kept getting a lot of pressure. She had just signed the Virgin Records. She got a lot of pressure from Jackie because Siggy hooked the deal up. That was Jackie's son.
Right.
And she was dating Renee at the time, but rumor has it she was supposed to have been attracted to me at the time as well. Renee got real jealous of the situation. So she just called me one day out of the blue when we was leaving out of Michael's ranch. And was like, we can't do this right now. It's too much complications and too much stress over her. She let it go. Probably 30 to 60 days later, I had to deal with A&L. Coincidentally, she just left A&L. So I figured she blessed me with that. So I thank you for that. Although I know it could have been a whole lot bigger and better. Whatever happened at that time was all good because I was on the run, so I was appreciative of any blessing that came my way.
Right.
That's a fact. With Janet, I stayed at the house. I lived with Catherine and them for a whole summer. I ran around with them like family for a minute. I've been to Michael's ranch. For a whole year, he gave me and Siggy the ranch. Once a week. One weekend each month, we'd get the ranch for 3 days.
Wasn't you on the run at the time?
Absolutely. That was the crazy part. As I was on the run, nobody knew. Nobody knew. I mean, everybody friends. I had to deal with Quincy Jones. I was on the run. Lived with the Jacksons. I was signed to so much shit, movies, all type of shit. I did deals for people. I gooned for people to get their money back in the industry. I managed a few successful producers, all on the run. You feel me? I was on the run the whole time. When I came back is when it was over. So I guess you could say they was harboring the fugitive, whatever you want to call it. So all blessings is over now. Nobody got harmed, no foul play. I was just striving really to find a way to come up so I could get past that hump I was in my life.
Right.
It's crazy because during that time, that's when I found out about my grandfather. Let's get out the car and talk it upside down.
I see you, ma. Ain't nothing like you, that's a fact. I've been through a lot of shit. When you find the right one, that's just what it is. That's a fact. Huh? Once you say your name, where's shorty? Respect. I dig that. Looking for something real too. For the same thing, baby girl. Yes, babe. She
say she love me and she hold me down. My prima donna, my queen, my future baby mama. It's no drama and she live by a word of honor. Been in various relations, different situations, testing the patience. Some never own up, but they be men. They claim they grown up, but got where they belong. They say they strong, but dead wrong. It's like the same lame game you hear in every song. Then I reply, yeah, you met me at the right time, right frame of mind. Plenty of room for us both to shine. She liked the idea, but still she felt a little fear. The vision clear, yeah, we could go together, grow together, and let them know together that it's us forever. Huh?
See, it's a perfect connection.
When I flew back to this side, my mom was sick at the same time, so I was dealing with that. She ended up passing away. I went through a whole turmoil with that. I don't even want to get into that because I got 7 brothers and sisters, and I make 8. So you can imagine what we went through. Spencer Williams Brand's kids, so we all inherited a music catalog. It was a lot to it, but we worked it out at the end and prevailed. I'm out here, that's the time I was rocking with y'all, and I got back and started rocking with Payroll. You know what I'm saying? Me and Nabo and Paul back together and started trying to make the Payroll thing come back to life. And my father ended up sick right there while I was with y'all trying to make that come to life for y'all. I went to New York. I took Shannon with me. Shannon Wiley, she sings for my father's funeral. He ended up passing away out there. So I lost both of them within 5-6 months apart. I was devastated, homie. I tried to sit out here with the new Carolina rap artists and producers that I thought was it, but I couldn't stay, man. I was devastated. So I went back to the other side and showed my baby mama on that side, thinking that would make me feel better. As time prevailed, it didn't. So a little bit of time, maybe a year from after that too, I came back to this side, went to New York. I did a project with cats out there. The whole East Coast changed, the homosexual shit, all this crazy shit going on over here. Young cats keep feeling misled, but leadership is in yourself. You gotta lead. So they feel like they mad at OGs for them not taking the lead. You gotta take the lead. Y'all keep feeling, oh, they didn't teach us nothing. Then take the lead. Don't downplay, show us what we missed out, or show us you can do it better. Don't downplay what was already set for y'all to build on. You know what I'm saying? Just add on to the cipher. And all the OG, all the young guards around the country that know me, they know I'm the OG. You come holler at me, word to God, I'm gonna tell you what it's supposed to be. I don't care what situation it is, negative or positive, I'm gonna give you some direction on how to play that shit right. That's just what it is. And I wish a lot of the OGs would step back out and give these cats some direction. Maybe a lot of the bodies will stop and the unification will fall in place. But you know, that the original question was what? Because I didn't got lost in thinking about the youth. What was the original question though? You were speaking regarding my parents and losing my parents and all that, yeah. So when I got back, I got to this point, I went to New York, that shit was crazy. I got in a bad accident, sat out there for a minute, did a lot of music with the cats up there, maybe 200 songs, we worked it out. A lot of shit went on, but I still salute my little homies from my hood, from Queens, let's talk about it. I came back to the cat, this way I really feel like I got believed in myself at, so I wanted to give it back to the cats out here that helped me believe in myself, to the youth here now. So I started working with K.O., Larry, Chuck Powers, Fleazo, Promise, Sway, Randy. It was a nice little team of artists in the cat that I felt like definitely got the potentials to make the next rain go down for the next 10, 20 years in this industry. They just need their shot, so I came out here to try to see if I can make that work. And at this point, it's developing and moving. I'm watching it grow for everybody. And possibly, with the right direction and people starting to, I can't say, but unattach themselves to themselves and allow other people into that energy so it can grow as a unit, I can see this happening out here. They just gotta learn how to share the win. Share we're gonna win together. Not just I'm it and you're not, watch me, because that's what got everything broke down right now. If we could break that energy up and make everybody feel like they need to be building with each other. When rap started, I was there. And rappers would relate to each other, help each other, jump on. They ain't had to be no cliques or none of that. Just thought each other was dope and they did it. Now it's who click you in and it's all this separation on the hip hop is that's why it's no really direction and anybody saying it's doing whatever they want and claiming it to be hip hop. But it's not. Like all these rappers or rhymers or whatever they saying, hip hop is a rhyme. Niggas is not rhyming. They're saying anything. So it's the battle raps and all that. How you battle rap rhyming and your shit didn't rhyme? So I want to get back to the essence of hip hop, and hopefully we can make that shit back where it's an art. Everything got to rhyme up and match up for it to be lit, and the R&B and all that. I think unity will make all that music back magical right now. Because right now, real talk, if you take a look at it, we not controlling the game. I mean, we are in the sense of demonic, satanic. Let's show we can kill each other and all that shit. But controlling the music business says there's a balance. Show me a lot of good quality, good music that our kids can listen to right now on the market, that we got a choice to go, you listen to this or that. We don't really got it. We just got all the negative hip hop that you can find all over, talking about all kinds of. Where's the Queen Latifahs and the female artists? Where's the Roots and the black artists today? We ain't got it. Y'all got what? The Migos? What are y'all talking about? What are they leading? What are they leading the youth to? What artist is leading the youth today? J. Cole and what's the little homie? Kendrick? Who else? Let's talk about it. What other youth artists today with this young stuff that I respect, y'all got a craft, but where y'all leading it to? Because all I see leading to is killing each other, guns, a million niggas, no females in it. So
check it. Yeah. See you looking at me, I'm like, what you looking at? I took an oath to the streets, I'm dedicated, I never snitch. My obligations get rich, they on the same team and never switch. I get it twitch when they infiltrating. I see him moving, I'm anticipating. Catch him at the drop, stretch him and watch his hip hop. Came in the wrong lane, he got the wrong name. His noodles romaine. Anybody getting our way, they get it twisted. The game been shifted, and we own it and we claim that. Entertain that, homie, where you get your stain at? From picture birds to the perfect picture, homie, I'm rocking with you. We share goals to get richer, and you can meet me at the bar, conversate, to move some weight, set up a date. Make sure on time and never late, cause the whole team be on time. I'm just saying though. I can't wait too far. No looking back, no looking back, no. Yes, I have. Too far to look back, so I just keep moving on and on. We want it all, y'all, and then some and then more. From Merrick Boulevard to Slauson and Crenshaw, Fayette and Mount, making it count out and be more. I'm P. Diddy from Florida Street to Gate City. Been serving fiends as a kid from the south side of Queens by any means. And I ain't lying, we get rich or we die trying. And flip anything you see me buying. And push the line without even trying. Ain't no denying, cause everything we drop, it be flying. Mamacita, señorita, I see you twerking at. Tell me where you working at, where they pull a curtain at. This strip club got me making it rain. Shorty bringing the pain, I need a number and name. With a sexy ass and her hair so curly, tryna figure out how to get her to leave early. And she tip out, we dip out, them niggas hating. I can't too far, wanna look back now. Got my eyes on a prize, and my mind on my grind, yeah. Too far to wanna look back now.
What got you pissed off at SUGE to the point?
That SUGE shit was crazy.
Yeah.
It's two scenarios. The first scenario, me and SUGE was up in Larry West. We chopping it up. SUGE a good dude. He was showing me love, but the conversations was out of line. Like he had a conversation with me regarding Pac. Pac my dude too, and he got real. He went and was saying some negative shit that really nobody should know about in front of a lot of people that I felt the way about. And that right there was the day I started feeling like, damn, son, Gritty, all the bread he got from son, he gonna put that shit out on the table in front of people for SUGE. That was crazy. And then the second time was I brought this young cat named J Classic to him. We did the Pablo album. A lot of the last Death Row records we did them. J Classic did them. And you know, he broke bread with us and all that. But then PD, I guess, got dropped and something happened. All of a sudden, he wanted to come after J Classic. Keep telling me he putting J Classic in the cat. A place called Mount Loretta. Mount Vernon. I mean, out in Staten Island. Then from there, I went to Abbott House, upstate New York. Those was the group homes I was in. From there, I went to Rikers Island several times. Rikers Island was crazy. That's where I met Jimmy Henchman. He was in 4 Main. I was in 6 Main, front lining. Wherever I went, I front line, because I was light-skinned. A lot of cats felt the way, so I put the pressure down before they could, you know what I'm saying? Or if they put the pressure down on that light-skin shit, I immediately responded to that. And a lot of people who know me know, if you throw that light-skin shit in the air, I'm almost like a beast with that. I'm with that. Let's see what it is. We can pull out the joints and see who's bigger. We can get to it, how you feel like you want to do it. I'm with the business to show that that shit is a theory, homie. It's not real. Feel me? I give it up like any other color that's real with it. That's a fact. But Rikers Island was gladiator school. That's the first place I seen a nigga stick an ice pick in somebody's forehead. I seen a man stick an ice pick straight through a man's hand. I seen cats get a $150s from the top of their head down to their knees. It was crazy. I put some work in. I never talk about it, but I put a little work in. But that's what you had to do to show and prove that you gave it up. And I did that on Rikers Island, and I ended up in different little jails in different states. But Baltimore and Rikers Island probably the craziest 2 jails I've ever been in. But I stood up in all of them, from the yard to whatever it was, phone time, all that. I stood up everywhere I went. Everybody know me for that. I hated it. Just so you know, your cats who think going to jail is the truth and all that. It's gangster shit. It's the worst shit. There's no gangster in that. That's a fact. Every jail I went to, I had the yard on lock. I had my house on lock, phone on lock, smoking trees, everything like the streets, just nothing soft. That's why I hated it. I need some shorties. More importantly, my whole life was on stuck. Everybody life around me that I was in the streets was moving forward. So that's the worst shit you can ever do as a gangster. You can't be gangstering and losing time in the pen. They don't match up. A gangster in the streets making sure everybody eating out here, the family eating. That's a gangster. The gang shit, I don't know what y'all doing. But a gangster feed their family, try to protect what's going on around them. That's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? And that, I'm doing the real gangster shit. We didn't do all that threats and all the cyberspace beefing and all that shit y'all doing right now. If we had a problem, we got right to it, my nigga. Right to it. If I got with you, Rikers Island on the streets, you know when you see me, you bust your guns because I'm going to bust mine. That's a fact. I never really waited when, Shaw, they looking for you. No. As soon as they looking for me, I'm looking for them. So it's like no more. You don't got to tell me looking for you. Tell them I'm looking for them too. So whoever see first, that's what we going to do. Rikers Island, wherever we at, we giving it up. That's the real G that I grew up around, where if you saying that, you doing that. It ain't no, we gonna keep arguing and bickering on social medias and all that. I don't do that right now. Anybody who know, whoever said something slick on social media with me, you can ask them if I ain't pull up a few minutes later. I don't do that. We can talk front, we can fight, we can do whatever. Bust guns, let's do it real, let's be men. That's what we missing, the men. That be like, let's go in the back and fight, and tomorrow we have a drink on it. We need more of that back. Feel what I'm talking about? But that Rikers Island shit and all that, when you go in there, if you come out and you stood up, New York gonna say you a man and salute you. And I went in there 4 or 5 times, homie, and I stood up when it was the worst times on Rikers Island. I'm a light-skinned nigga. Nothing, homie. That's a fact. Whole houses try to give it up, and I gave it up to whole houses. That's what we do, homie. Real niggas just do real shit. That's what it is. Let's talk about it. But at the end of the day, that wasn't the place to be. None of these jails is. All the black men going to jail, stop that. Gangster is not going to jail. Gangster is making sure our shorties is safe and these babies is eating. That's gangster. All the other stuff is hoodlum, unintelligent, running around, helping destroy. You know what I'm saying? Bully lynchings.
Yeah. Them court cases got me facing quarters. That's when I thought about my sons and daughters. And all them years, I'll be crossing borders, dodging them feds and them news reporters. And them dudes wearing them tape recorders. They non-supporters. I say no, I stay low. Yeah, I see them scheming, they daydreaming. They fiending for my position. I follow my intuition. I get missing and I leave them fishing for what ain't there. Some say it ain't fair, cause I made it through. I played a few, mad cause the cards favored me and never favored you. But I'm still here through the pandemic, race wars and revolutions, natural cause or executions. No interest in problems, we need solutions. It's real life.
Hey, yo, so check this out, right? That's like a walk through some of my life. Real talk. You can laugh if you want to. I know my teeth is out. I was in the accident, lost my teeth. I ain't beat, whatever, fell away. I'm just keeping it 100% solid, being real as I could possibly be. You heard? However, it's been a long time coming, man. It's time for America to get it together. It's time for all of us to get it together. The black people need to unify. Stop marching, because that's not going to work. Come together and figure out how or what moves that need to be made. If you got sacrifices got to be made, real men, real women, these your babies, sacrifices got to be made. That's a fact. Also, there's a lot more to my story that hasn't been heard, so I guess there'll be a sequel to this. There's a lot of crazy things, like I told you. Fortunately and unfortunately, I was around a lot of great things that happened and a lot of bad things that happened. I was in LA for the Rodney King riots. I was in New York for the Twin Towers shit. I was in North Carolina, Greensboro, when they finally had a tornado that really tore something up. I was in a lot of places where a lot of crazy things happened, man. And I just happened to be in that city or state when it went down. So, you know, that'll probably be a sequel. This whole thing was about, you know, I was gone for a minute. The love got going, everything real. I ain't even be with the love no more. All this time I learned how to live and love myself, rock to myself if I have to. I'm looking for the real love. I don't want the bullshit no more. I'm over that. But the whole hard to find joint is about me being hard to find, of course, being on the run and right in your face, but where, you know, usually the best things hidden, like they always say, is right in your face. But more appropriate to the scenario and the situation, I found myself and throughout my life. It took me a minute, but I found myself. It was hard to find, but I found myself. And, you know, I was told when I went to my grandfather's estate, we've been looking for your family for 40 to 50 years. This Dr. Orr, Professor Orr from Knoxville University, God bless the dead. We've been looking for your family 40, 50 years. And I popped up, they seen me, we chopped it up, it was verified. Are we still hard to find? What's going on? Spencer Williams, my grandfather, wrote all these hits, all that. Everybody eating off of his labor. Ain't nobody trying to look for his people, huh? Are we that hard to find? I don't think so. But however it works, hopefully the world embraces some kind of compassion for equality so we all could try to live a little more peacefully. But until then, find out who you are and go hard for who you are. Because you know how they do. You got to do it the same way. Get to yours. Otherwise, you'll be hard to find. That's a fact. Love is love. Love y'all. Come back through. Get the album. Download it today. SpaceHumans.com. You get the documentary free with it. You heard? If not, just get it on the platform. Bang it on your playlist. I love y'all. Love is love. R.I.P. Mom and Dad. Let's see how this plays out.
You already know, you already know it. Day 10 down, you already know, yeah. You already know, you already know it. Came from the bottom, you already know it. Ay, you already know, you already know it. Day 10 down, you already know it. You already know, you already know it. Came from the bottom, you already know it. Ay.
Did they hit you in your inbox? Did you get the text? Are you moving?
Yeah, niggas all on the way though. For real. Bitches, niggas, just stay in the way, man.
Fuck out of here.
Niggas be trying to get to that bag, KO. For real though.
Your nose is crazy.
What they do though. Bunch of hate and shit.
Yo, cut up on the
Goddamn, KO, you on this?
Bitches be getting me mad while I'm trying to get to the bag, huh? Niggas be all on my way while I'm trying to get to the pay, huh? Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack, fuck 'em. Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack, fuck 'em. Bitches be getting me mad while I'm trying to get to the bag, huh? Niggas are getting my way while I'm trying to get to the pay, huh? Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack, fuck 'em. Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack, fuck 'em. Niggas, you blocking my cash, you all on my way, bitch, you all on my ass. I'm about getting the cash, getting the bag, and getting it fast. I just be running my route, bitches be running they mouth. Niggas be talking that shit till they got a gun in their mouth, huh? Bitches staying on my zone, always blowing up my phone. Niggas acting like they clone, can't get their own shit grown. I'ma take 95 or the 85 or get my shit blown, huh? It could be plates, it could be bricks, it could be broke down the zones. Bitches, they love me, they all in my space. All in my dick, so they all in my face. Please get back, get out of my face. I'm a Schwarzenegger, you could all get erased. I'ma get the bag and I'm going without a trace, huh? What? We ducking all the snitches and the haters and the niggas that really wanna fade us. Go! Bitches be getting me mad while I'm trying to get to the bag, huh? Niggas be all on my way while I'm trying to get to the pay, huh? Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack. Fuck 'em. Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack. Fuck 'em. Bitches be getting me mad while I'm trying to get to the bag. Niggas are getting my way while I'm trying to get to the pay. Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack. Fuck 'em. Bitches be sniffing that jack, niggas be smoking that crack. Fuck 'em. Every city, every town, they know me, I'm coming. I'm moving them bricks, I'm changing them hundreds, I'm moving them things, I'm making it work, I'm making it rain and I'm leaving them hurt. No cap, flip trees like a flip crack. Double up, wanna get back, double up, wanna get back. Mommy wanted me to hit that, got in my way so I really wasn't with that. She hit me up but I really never hit back, cause I stay out chasing cheese, counting G's in the fresh white tee. Police yelling freeze, hands up, drop to your knees. I ain't taking no pleas, I'ma earn my stay. These niggas be blocking, these bitches be blocking, these niggas be blocking, these bitches be blocking. Y'all in the way, bitches be getting me mad while I'm trying to get to the bag.